Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bunnies on BZCast. This is your host, Randy. This is the official podcast of BunnyZine.com. BunnyZine, of course, everyone knows about the monthly. Sorry, I'm a little rusty. I'll be going into that in a minute. The monthly issue, which is fantastic. Last month, in the month of June, we broke a lot of personal records, and I wish I had an episode to talk more about that, but it was awesome. A lot of it was, of course, outside of the bunny community. Helped out very much by Shu, I believe her name is Shu on Head on YouTube, with her retweets and sharing our e-magazine posts. It was awesome. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading. Make sure you guys check out our current issue, which is the pinned post on our Facebook and the pinned post on our Twitter. Our Twitter's official BZine. We're on Instagram on @officialBunnyZine and then BunnyZine on Facebook. Man, it has been a while. The last episode was April 28th. I'm recording this episode of July 20th. 2017. This is episode 37. As you guys can tell by the title, you know what we're going to be talking about in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about a few other things before we got into the main topics of the show. A lot of factors went into what happened with the last couple of months that I would want to address. Just basically got busy with weddings and trips and family, and you get a little like caught up in the summer. Those of us that deal with like extreme cold, like I am in Illinois, understand that you kind of you try to take advantage of every like good summer day that you can, especially when you work full time. You try to do everything that you can because it's just the easiest and best time to spend time with people, friends and family and so forth. Another reason is that because of all that, it would be very hard for me to fit in someone in rescue or a guest on the show in what would be a very like tight schedule for me. That's not fair to bring in to try to squeeze a guest into a cram schedule. Oh, can you just be available at this hour? That's not fair. Those people, not just people in rescue, but everyone else has really crazy busy lives as well. Mine's not always like this. It just happens to be one of those summers. And two, because of that, I've been out of the loop. I try to follow like news stories that involve bunnies, any petitions like the one that was just passed in California about the rabbits being sold in pet stores. Now they have to partner up with rescues. That's very good news. I think I'm almost 100% sure that passed. But outside of that, a lot of the stuff that happened, I'm always late to, or I flat out missed in the last couple of months, and it's not fair. If I'm gonna do a podcast episode about bunnies and about the news and different topics and subjects, that I should stay up on what's going on in the bunny community, in the bunny world, as far as news revolving around bunnies. Quick little side note, part of that reason is a long time ago, when I was in television class in high school, this is a short little side story. I got to meet, if any of you listening know him, I got to briefly meet Larry Potash. He's a WGN news anchor. He's still currently going, I believe. I don't really watch the news anymore. It's all terrible. It's all depressing, especially here in Illinois. But he pulled our 10-person, 12-person group aside and say, always know what's going on. Stay up to date on everything that's going on. If you want to do anything that I do in this business, he's like, read, research, and always stay up to beat. Make sure you know more than like the person next to you. And I've always taken that with this podcast and pretty much anything else that I've done in relation to journalism or my writing, like school papers and stuff like that. So I take that to heart, and I was taking that to heart with this podcast as well. As you know, it wouldn't be fair for you guys for me to kind of just like spit something out just for the sake of having one podcast per month if I don't if I'm just forcing something out there when I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? It just didn't. It wasn't going to be right if I had done a podcast the last couple of months. As I've said a lot, trying to get back into the swing of things with this current episode. This episode, of course, is a solo podcast recording. So that's it about the long break. Try to get back into the swing of things. Starting with August, trying to talk to people in advance to try to get guests set up so we could do something fun for future episodes. Quick update. I don't remember if I talked about it last time because it was months ago. But the Watership Down, I literally was online for about 10 minutes before I started this recording, and there were no updates. And I mean, like, none at all. Netflix, I follow them. And read a lot of random articles that I find online about them when I get a chance. And they keep everything pretty close to the chest. They don't really like to reveal anything unless they feel like it. Nothing really leaks with Netflix unless someone is trying to hack them, like the Orange is the New Black fiasco a few months ago. So there isn't nothing new. I looked it up. I looked up with Netflix and other, like IMDb, and there is nothing new. But again, the plan, whenever it does come out, I will do a episode by episode breakdown on this channel. So I will do a review of, I believe it's a 4-part miniseries on Netflix. Again, it's being co-produced with the BBC. I will do, like I said, a review of every episode. I am in the process of getting the novel and then reading the novel. Don't worry, I will have it read before the series is out. I will have it read before the series, before I watch it. And then I'll be doing, part of the review will be like a side-by-side comparison of the novel with the current, with the Netflix series, not current. And I guess I would have to watch the movie as well. I know I'm way behind. The previous animated adaptation from, I don't even remember what year that came out. I did catch an article when I was doing some research that said it would be a lot less violent I didn't read into too deep into the article to see what this was quoted from, but I kind of saw that coming. Even though Netflix is pretty dark, you can really put some really dark and violent things on Netflix. There isn't really like a family, rating system when it comes to Netflix. But I kind of saw that coming at the same time because of BBC was going to be involved. And they're going to keep things probably a little lighter. Just a heads up. All right. I had different ideas for coming back and doing an episode in the month of July. I had kind of ideas in the last couple of weeks of things I could talk about, maybe a guest I can talk to if I could, squeeze that in. I know I talked about that a few minutes ago. I'm not being able to squeeze guests in, but I had different ideas. And then last week pretty much changed everything. I threw all that out the window and decided to go with what our topic is talking about, and that is talking about Tank and Walter. It was a pretty heartbreaking day. I can't remember specifically if it was in the same day. It might have been back-to-back days. It might have been morning and a night. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know exactly. They were both Wednesday, but you know what I mean. It was it felt like it was in the same 24 hour, 24 hour to 48 hour span. I had the privilege to talk to Marcy at SaveABunny. I'm kind of quoting myself. I posted on Facebook, on our Facebook page about Tank passing away, and I don't have it up in front of me, so I'm not going to read them verbatim. I'm just thinking off the top of my head of what it was. But I had the privilege to, going back to what I was talking about, I had the privilege to talk to Marcy long time ago. We talked about us, the bunnies, beating Whole Foods in the Whole Foods ending their meat sale, rabbit meat sale. Sorry. And that's how long ago the last time we talked. She was awesome. She was very genuine. She was very informal and just a very good guest. And ever since then, I've stayed pretty up to date on what's going on at SaveABunny. They're a very active page. And a very awesome rescue in California. It's just a very fun rescue to follow. Their social media person or team is very good at showing the bunnies that are up for adoption and just talking about, posting links and sharing important information in the community and what's going on out in California. A little bit of background: Tank was a big brown Flemish that was there, and they started slowly doing pictures and videos. And I think like I said in the Facebook post, he became a star. Everyone wanted to see Tank all the time. This big brown Flemish that was just did goofy things in videos, really cute, funny things. And then Tank Tuesdays became a thing, which was awesome. I literally looked forward to Tank Tuesdays like all the time. It was videos with his bonded mate Lady C and with the, I am drawing a blank on the little bunnies on what they were called. Man, I am screwing this up. But yeah, there were these little baby bunnies that he interacted with, ate food, and it was cute. I love seeing Tank Tuesdays. It was one of those things where me and my wife would send videos of the links of his videos back and forth to him. The same thing with Walter, actually, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And when I saw that he got sick, it like I said, it was heartbreaking. It was really, I was really pulling for him. SaveABunny was providing updates, and Marcy was providing updates to the person with their social media that was doing the social media. And seeing that he was gonna pass and cross, go over the bridge, it was just very tough to handle. I saw those videos and I thought of some of the bunnies that we had lost. You think about your own bunnies that we've lost over time, and personally speaking, when it comes to rabbits and comfort and how much stress they can relieve, I can't imagine someone that's probably as busy as Marcy is, as possible stress that she could be dealing with on a daily basis, working with a rescue, working on the top of a rescue, and and not having Tank there, because as I learned over time through these Tank Tuesday videos and posts, that Tank was like that. That was his human, was Marcy. And I feel terrible for Marcy. My heart goes out to her, that he's no longer there to be there for her. I 100% get that, because I'll have a rough day at work or a rough day, something else bad, go home and come home frustrated or stressed out because something happened earlier that day, and I go in Chunk's room, I open his door, and he's all excited to see me. And then it's like that, I drop whatever, frustration I had that day, and me sitting next to him, me holding him laying next to me, that comfort, that, it's just relaxing. It's just nice. It's like a mini getaway every time you're with them, and to lose that is terrible. It's a terrible feeling. It's one of those things when we've talked about loss in the past where there's just certain things that you have to try to get used to. The noise that's not there, taking care of bunnies and raise, and adoption, bunny adoption. There, you get used. Everyone knows that's listening. You get used to a daily routine that you wake up excited in the morning to see them. You kiss them goodnight before you go to bed. You feed them multiple times, change their box throughout the day, and to kind of go outside of that routine, and it not even that it's just a routine. It's just multiple daily things that you love to do. Routine more sounds like objectives or daily tasks. But it's not even that. It's just things that you love to do because you love interacting with your bunny. That's your bunny. It's for a lot of us out there, it's like your kid. And I would like to thank everyone at Marcy and SaveABunny for sharing, parts of his life with us. They were very fun and very entertaining to watch. I feel terrible. I literally had the name of the little group of bunnies, and I am like flubbing it live on the recording. It's okay. But again, my heart goes out to everyone at SaveABunny. I really enjoyed Tank, and my heart goes out to them. Okay. This is again a tiny bit emotional. Part of the reason I was going to do this podcast shortly after, but it was kind of hard. It was hard to do because every time I would kind of start to think about, what happened to Tank and Walter, it just got all emotional and upset. And I'm like, I can't start recording in this state. Talk about regular things in the beginning and not be, off. I'm a little off because I'm a little rusty today. It's been a few months since the recording, so I apologize for all the missed lines and ums. I a ton of anyway. Last Wednesday, we also lost Walter, which was. Again, it was like soul crushing. Again, it was one of those things where his mom Jen was posting updates, posted that he wasn't feeling well, and then was posting different updates that they were trying different things. They were driving to the hospital, to a different hospital. That was a long drive. Excuse me. And, you're just rooting. I remember that night specifically, I was, going to their Facebook page every, 5 to 10 minutes to see if there was anything new that was going on. And sadly, the worst thing that could happen, Walter passing, is what happened. Walter... We did have an episode a long time ago, not with Walter and Betsy or with Jen, but about therapy animals, bunnies as therapy animals. Bunny Bessie's a group out of Minnesota that does this as well. And they bring so much happiness and joy to people that really need it. People that are depressed, that are down because of their health is declining and their mental state is not well. And for Walter and Betsy to come in on a wagon or a stroller, and everyone gets to pet them, and everyone gets, I'm not entirely sure how long. I don't remember the stories. I know Walter and Betsy were featured in February. As our cover buns, we did a lot of stories, but I don't remember the exact details. But whether it's minutes or it's hours, they bring the joy and happiness and relaxation to those people that really need it, and people that are struggling every day to deal with everyday life. That's gotta. There's no better way to put it. It's just gotta suck to live like that. And Jen is amazing and did so much amazing work with bringing Walter and Betsy around. Whether kids or adults or it was amazing stuff, and definitely Walter deserves to be recognized for everything that he's done, and for again, just like I was talking about Tank, all the pictures and videos of him and Betsy, it was like the most adorable things ever, and that's part of this whole heartbreaking situation, is not being able to see those anymore. And I can't imagine being in Jen's shoes. Again, trying to keep it straightforward here. Being in Jen's shoes, not being able to see that anymore, and seeing, making sure that Betsy is okay. And Jen has been great. She's been posting videos and, not videos, but pictures on updates on Betsy and, how she's doing. It's just a terrible, sad thing. They had this beautiful, bond between the two of them, Walter and Betsy, and it it's, again, soul crushing. It's heartbreaking. It's everything you can think of. Description is it's tough thing to stomach. And I remember that night. That's like the power of social media, and the power that the bond that these bunnies form with all of us, the whatever it is, the 12,000 people that like their page across the world, is you care and feel for these bunnies as if they were your own bunnies, as if they were your own kids, and to go through that, go through this process of life with them in the past few years. Walter was only 4 years old. It's so short. Going in this past few years and just seeing them grow, see him and Betsy grow into this loving couple, and see all the amazing work they do, and then go through this situation, this terrible situation of him passing away. It literally feels like you're going through all of that with your own bunny at home. That's like the power and strength that social media can have, and I think it showed itself in the community. I mean, a ton of us in different group pages, and on Bunnyzine, me and Dustin both posted about Walter, that how much Walter meant to everyone that liked their page, and everyone that followed along their incredible journey. So again, there's no other way to put it about how terrible it is, but the best we can do is be there for Jen. Again, and this is also talking about Tank as well, to be there, for SaveABunny. Let me go back real quick for like 10 seconds. What I was gonna say is, if every rescue in everywhere needs donations, I've been meaning to do this. I'm going to do it. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do that. I would say make a donation in Tank's name. If you were someone who followed along with Tank and loved their videos and their posts, and again, kind of like Walter, you watched his life through Facebook videos and posts. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a donation to their rescue. If it's a few bucks, whatever you can, in honor of Tank. I just wanted to get that out. I meant to get that out a few minutes ago. Going back to Walter, Dustin is going to be doing a tribute issue. It's on our Facebook page. If there's something that you would like in our e-magazine, I believe he said he's aiming for it to be out at some time in August. I'm not sure what day he's 100% aiming for. But again, if you want to say something really nice about Walter, you followed along in their page, and you were just blown away all the time. They seemed like they posted stuff like every day. It was awesome. Then send something nice, a tribute or a picture, and if you want to say something, in Walter's honor, send it to officialbunnysign@gmail.com, officialbunnysign@gmail.com. I'm almost 100% sure that's email. It's been a while. I will double check that while I'm talking about something else. Podcast professionalism right here, doing research on the fly. Like I said, I'm almost 100% sure that is officialbunnysign@gmail.com. Okay, I thought I was right. Send those tributes in if you want to say something nice about Walter. For the e-magazine, it will definitely be in there. This current recording is kind of my own to him. Walter's work and Walter and Betsy's work is like, it's inspiring, to be honest. To go out of your time to go out of your way and use much of your own time to make someone else's day better. Could you imagine how much better the world would be if a lot of other people did that? And this is also a huge shout out to Jen as well, because Jen drove Walter and Betsy around everywhere to all these places that they did, the therapy and the people that they've helped. But like I said, it's inspiring to all the work that he and Betsy have done to help people out and, make our lives a little better. Again, I've said this multiple times with bunnies that we've talked about in the past, and it's the same thing with Walter and Betsy. You would see a Facebook post, and then no matter what was going on with your day, nothing, or you were having a bad day, or if it was already good, no matter what, Walter and Betsy's posts always made it better. Whether, it was them dressed up in something adorable on Facebook. I think I called them like the best dressed couple. 100% are. And it's like, sorry, I'm a little lost for words and talking about this. I want to talk about these provide a good memory about Tank and Walter. But it's tough. There's an episode that no one wants to write and wants to record, and it's the same thing with Dustin that we don't want to do. We don't want to have to do, not have to, but we want Walter still here, and we want Tank still here, and we want all of our bunny friends still here to be happy and healthy. It just doesn't work out like that, and it's just life. On the Walter and Betsy Facebook page, on the pin post, there is a GoFundMe. I wanted to mention that because I'm also going to have it in the description of this video. So when I upload the video, if you literally click in the body description of whether you're on YouTube, SoundCloud, or iTunes, the link for their GoFundMe to donate towards Walter's medical bills will be there. Please help if you can. As Jen described it, even though Walter didn't make it to surgery, they still had a large bill that they have to pay their vet. So anything that can help, and it's kind of like Tank with making a donation to SaveABunny. You can donate to the GoFundMe in honor of Walter, and maybe leave a little message in there and say how much he meant, how much he meant to you. Again, Walter was just only 4 years old, and it feels like everything happened so suddenly, like everything happened really fast, even though I'm sure it was like the longest day in hell for his family, Jen and their family. But it feels like it happened so fast that he wasn't feeling well, and then you got different updates throughout the day that it felt worse. And I'd just like to say thank you to Jen for sharing his life, and continuing to share Betsy's life and provide updates is amazing of her. I can't imagine what she's going through. I think, I'm saying that, but we all, all of us that have lost a bunny, understand that pain, and that's part of the pain that you feel, because you're kind of going through it again, because you know what that person is going through. For those of us that have had this happen to us, that have lost a bunny, that we love, and that we love so much, because that's part of the pain that that we deal with, is that we know that their family is going through this pain as well. And my condolences, Jen, if anyone on Jen or the family listens. Thank you for sharing Walter's life and doing everything you do for with Walter and Betsy, with the therapy and all the people that you visit, and just all of the work that you guys do, and just making other people's days better. It's a really amazing. I think I can speak for everyone at Bunny's Eye that we really appreciate it, and everyone else that we really appreciate it. It's amazing. Thank you, and my heart just breaks for you and your guys' loss of Walter. Again, for the before we close out, it's a little bit of a shorter episode. For the Walter tribute issue that we will be doing, email is at officialbunnysign at officialbunnysign@gmail.com. Man, I cannot talk. It's been too long. I get back into the swing of things. And then if you want to talk about anything with the Bunny's Eye podcast, if you have any questions, if you have any ideas, excuse me, I got a weird, not like these mini hiccups going on that I've been hiding. If you want to talk about anything about any current episodes, previous episodes, maybe ideas for future episodes, email the show email that's for the podcast, bunnyzioncast@gmail.com, bunnyzioncast@gmail.com. Again, you can find this show on youtube.com, soundcloud.com, and on iTunes. Please subscribe, like, leave a review if you wish to help. Again, we're going to get back, try to get back into the swing of things, aiming for at least one episode, maybe two, for the month of August. Just to close out real quick, right before I literally close out, I know I'm like spinning wheels here, but this kind of episode, it was kind of hard to do and make sure that I say everything right, because it's just hard to talk about loss. It really is. It's just really hard to talk about it and to keep it, straight. It's really different when it comes to like a news anchor that's like has the most like bland face staring at you, talking about someone that they didn't know, that died in a car accident or something like along those lines. But to talk, and it's not even like a report. It's just expressing my own feelings towards Tank and Walter. But to talk about it in this kind of way is hard to do, because I'm emotionally invested. I cared about these bunnies for the last few years, and not cared literally, but loved seeing them every day. Every time they posted something on Facebook, I immediately watched. Left a comment on how awesome it was. So again, I apologize if I was like talking in circles throughout the episode. It's just a little difficult to talk about. As if you've listened to previous episodes and that I have talked about bunnies that we've lost in the past, including my own, that I get like that. Thank you everyone for listening. Please, if you like it, please share it. Let other bunny people know. If you have your own bunny page, please share it. Again, on social media, just Bunny's on Facebook, at official BZine on Twitter, Official Bunny Zine on Instagram. Again, a quick shout out when I was talking about the news and stuff earlier. Iris with Bunny Zine has been doing an amazing job of posting bunny related stories on Facebook like clockwork. So definitely check out our Facebook page. There's so much good stuff on there. She's done an amazing job. The editor, and I always mean to give her a shout out, is Kedzie of the Bunny Zine team. She edits these podcasts. Shout out to her. She does a great job. Thank you everyone for tuning in.